All right, so who am I speaking with now?
Sophia.
All right, Sophia, what can I help you with? What we dealing with?
Okay, actually, I'd say that my biggest problem is being vulnerable and trying to be able to open up so I can be like in a commitment. Um, Not really as how could I say that? It's just more like me not being able to be vulnerable make me not open up, so people are not really willing to get in a relationship.
Yeah, I mean, well, if your goal is to be in a relationship, how do you plan to do that without ever opening up to anybody?
Oh my god! And this is the problem. It's something I don't know. Like, where do you start? You know what I mean? Like, what do you say? What you don't say? And how long do you wait to say certain things? It's
Well,
all the long process.
there is no specific set of rules or things that you have to say when it comes to dating. Um, what you're describing, it just sounds like you're kind of lost on how to go about dating. Um,
Yeah.
I would strongly recommend you go to my website Terry Duran Books and download my dating and compatibility guide. It's only $1.50, but it basically explains to you what the dating process is. You know, a lot of people like dating is one of those words that has multiple kind of meanings. Like, so you could, some people, one person could say I'm dating such and such, and they could be talking about a committed relationship, and another person could say I'm dating someone else, and it just means they went out a couple of times. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things. It's one of those words that people kind of place their own definition of it when they use it. So identifying what dating actually is pretty essential. So I explain exactly what that process is. And the purpose of dating is to evaluate someone and figure out if y'all are compatible or not enough to
Yeah.
take things to the next level. And so you have to discuss certain things, your past, your interests, how do you feel about marriage, families, parenthood. Like, you should be having meaningful conversations with
Hmm.
anybody that you're trying to consider as a potential mate. And so if you're not doing, and there's no way to do that without them asking you stuff.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, I'm trying to figure out how you date if you don't open up. Do you just keep everything about you a secret? Like, I don't understand how that looks. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, basically, I don't really date. I'd say I'm more like internet dating. I like to talk with people. Like, I like to get to know people, but I think at a certain amount of time, I'm like, okay. As soon as I get to know like too much of them, I just go back. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like,
yeah, that don't
I've
sound like
known
you.
enough, and I'm out.
It don't sound like you have the mentality to be in a long term relationship. Like, that's a direct conflict with what you are claiming your goal to be. Like, there's no way that you can expect to be with someone 10, 15, 20 years if you get tired of talking to them once you learn something about them. That's that it's impossible to ever for those two things to really coexist,
Yeah.
because you're never going to get to the point where a person falls in love. You're never going to get to the person where a man decides that he wants to at least attempt to build his life with you. If you cut him
Yeah.
off without him doing nothing, if you cut him off without a warrant, a valid reason, you're just running in place, continuing to do the same little short cycle over and over again. And that's cool, but that's very different than what you stated your goal was. And so
Yeah.
when you have a dating practice or a dating strategy that is guaranteed to prevent you from reaching your goal, then by definition you have a flawed dating strategy. You know what I mean? And so that's what you have to fix that approach. That's never gonna get you what you appear to want, which is, I would imagine, somebody that you can have a good time with, that you find attractive, that can help you become a better person, that you can pool your resources with, and potentially maintain a household or raise a family. That sound pretty close to what you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm listening, and at the same time, I'm just like doing introspection with myself. And I think I have that tendency
Okay.
So yeah, it goes with what you're saying.
So you have an insecurity about breaking up or losing somebody that you fall in love with?
Exactly. You don't like to be, like let
Well,
abandoned or stuff like that, or
yeah, now that makes a lot of sense. I'm not a therapist. I don't know how to handle that aspect of it. But the idea of being able to prevent yourself from experiencing pain or heartbreak is impossible. So whenever you set yourself up to try to attempt to do something that is by definition impossible to do, you're just placing unnecessary stress and frustration on yourself.
yeah,
You can't control who you like. You can't control who you are attracted to or enjoy being around. You can't control who you miss seeing. And so to try to place stipulations, oh, I'm gonna like them for 3 weeks and then I'm just gonna stop and forget about them. It don't work like that.
yeah,
We can remember people from our childhood that we had crushes on, that when you think about, you smile or have a pleasant memory. So to think that you can actually date somebody or converse or text or whatever you're doing with them to the point where y'all are doing it on a consistent basis or doing it every day, and then just flip a switch and you're gonna forget about them, that's not realistic. That's not how we really operate. And so I think you need to clarify exactly what it is you want. If you're only dating online, why are you not interacting with people that you may meet in real life?
mm, oh my, I'd say it's because I'm a really shy person. I think I have a lot of work to do on myself though, like talking to you and listening to what I like, taking what you're saying. There's a lot of things that I have to work on. I'm a shy person. I don't really like to interact with people in person. I'm not a really good person. Like I'm not good at being the one who go up front to someone and be like, "Oh, let's talk," and start a conversation.
Well,
Um,
you're a woman, so you typically don't have to initiate interactions with a man.
mhm.
But I mean, I get it. You're very introverted and shy. That I mean,
Yes, yes, yes. And
okay.
I
I
don't go
mean,
out that much, so I think that's why I'm just like taking it on the internet level too. And I
well,
think it,
dating on the internet um, poses a bunch of different problems than dating just a regular person that you may meet
yeah,
in a local setting or something to that nature. But I mean, we all have our preferences. So based on your lifestyle, dating online appears to be give you more options. But that just opens the potential for more deception, more lies. You have to do more fact checking, and it takes more
yeah,
effort to figure out if somebody's really being authentic. You know, we have the
yeah,
term catfish for a minute, and we know that it's easy for somebody to put up some pictures and type some keys to pretend to be something that they may not be in real life. So that a person can also do that in real life. It's just a lot harder to do in real life.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
When a person can see you and see what your lifestyle really is, and you know what you really do on a day to day basis. So, um, but I agree with you. It sounds like you do have a lot of things that you need to correct or refine before you're going to be in a position to actually have a sustainable relationship. Because if you intentionally are sabotaging or severing every relationship before it ever becomes something, then you're just going to have a life of full of small flings. Now
Yeah.
that don't sound like what you want.
Not really, but I think it's just a pattern that I've learned through years to, like just protect myself, and go through like every problem or fight I have in life. So, yeah, I think it's really something that just, like it's not, and it's just a mechanism. It's right away like just like I do it without even thinking about it. I think it's just really into me.
I I agree. You know, a coping mechanism is something subconscious that you're doing, but it's something that you is so natural you don't have to think about it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I hope I was able to help put things in context for you. And
Yes, really. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I appreciate you participating, and I appreciate the love.
You're welcome.
All right, you have a good one. Happy holidays.
Thank you. You too.
All right, I thought that was a really productive session. She 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 demonstrated a lot of self awareness and willingness to work on herself. She wasn't deflecting the blame, trying to get excuses for it or her situation, and she didn't take offense when I pointed out that her dating strategy was flawed. You know, sometimes you have to use the definition that applies to a situation to explain something to someone. And so I explained to her how what she initially told me did not match what her dating strategy is setting her up for. You know what I mean? And so when you can help people identify that their intention on getting to a certain destination is impossible based on the current roadmap that they're following, smart people adjust. Smart people correct the problem instead of just ignoring the advice or the criticism and continuing to do the same things. So I thought that was a real productive session. Hopefully, y'all learned something. This has been Relationship Expert Terry Duran. Thanks for tuning in.